We are the anchors of Queer News Tonight, and this evening we discuss the queer headlines. Wilton Manors debuts Art Week, a 4-day celebration of art, LGBTQ pride, performances, and community spirit, November 6 through 9, 2025.
Let's time warp again. Rocky Horror's 50th anniversary tour transforms Halloween into a joyful celebration across the country.
Experience Wilton Manors' 20th Taste of the Island with 50-plus restaurants, community vibes, and VIP perks on November 17th.
After the Supreme Court allowed parents to opt out of LGBTQ plus lessons, you may be shocked at how many of the affected families actually opted out.
Queer community critiques straight individuals invading LGBTQ plus gatherings, urging respect for boundaries instead of entitlement and intrusion. Prepare for some strong words. All this important LGBTQ plus news and more this evening on Queer News Tonight. Welcome to Queer News Tonight. This is the world's first and only LGBTQ plus daily news television show broadcasting live and available on demand on your favorite streaming channels.
Analytics company vidIQ has certified Queer News Tonight YouTube channel as the world's most popular LGBTQ plus streaming news show. Our queer stories have reached more than 11 million views. We are proud that Queer News Tonight has more YouTube subscribers than any other LGBTQ plus brand in Florida.
We thank you for watching and supporting our voice and our rainbow family. There is no other news program in the LGBTQ plus world like Queer News Tonight. It is Monday, October 27th, 2025. We are live and literally out of the closet and into the headlines. So many of your important stories we'll tell this evening on Queer News Tonight.
You're watching Queer News Tonight, the world's first daily LGBTQ evening news show.
Welcome to the world's most important LGBTQ plus evening news show. Hotspots Magazine Happening Out Television Network is a nonprofit 501c3 media company in the same model as PBS and NPR, but created for the LGBTQ plus community. Our nonprofit mission is to support the 11 pillars of our community. We want to inform and educate the key issues of lesbian, trans, Latino, Black, healthcare, seniors, students, faith, social justice, business, and queer culture. Help us support our diverse community.
We are part of one of the largest LGBTQ plus nonprofit media companies in America, Hotspots Magazine Happening Out Television Network. In 2025, our magazine is celebrating 40 years of the LGBTQ plus experience, and Queer News Tonight is celebrating our 5th 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 anniversary with more than 11,000 LGBTQ plus television stories. We present South Florida's major LGBTQ plus events, including but not limited to Pride Fort Lauderdale, Stonewall Pride, and Pride Fete. Our magazine's events, television news, talk, and entertainment shows support our mission to educate the LGBTQ plus and broader communities.
In 2025, more than 100 community leaders will sit at this table and share their voices as our anchors. Together, we host this show to support the LGBTQ plus community. Let's meet this evening's anchor at Queer News Tonight. You know, I'm really excited about our anchor this evening on Queer News Tonight. You know him, you love him, I know him, and I love him. And he's anchor John Hayden. And it's funny because I met John in this place years ago, right? I mean, in this same, probably the same tablecloth when I first met you 5 years ago. And here we are.
Let's not think about that.
You know, what was that? Was that 2020, 2021? Right? Yeah. Right. It was at the beginning of 2021. So here we are almost 5 years later. And you're one of my closest friends, like ever. I wake up and I send you a text like, hey, what are you doing, John? Right? Yeah. You know, and aside from being one of my besties, John Hayden is a general assignment reporter for Out South Florida, right? Covering events and political developments directly affecting South Florida's LGBTQ plus community. That means us, you know? And before joining Out South Florida, he had spent the last 13 years as an entertainment journalist, interviewing the biggest stars in TV, movies, music, and even at the American Idol finals, the Grammys, red carpets for everything, all kinds of premieres. John now lives in Wilton Manors, Fort Lauderdale area, and looks forward to continuing to cover and being a leading voice in our community that which he is. Welcome back to the table, John.
Thank you so much. It's been a minute since I've been here, but it's not been a minute since you and I have hung out. We're all over every place in Wilton Manors. Season has started. So I'm just glad you all brought me back in here because this is taking a break. I can sit here for an hour and take a break before I get out and start covering again all of the stuff that we've got going on.
Well, you know, you will always be a part of the Hotspots Happening Out family. You are.
Yeah.
I mean, you are. So thank you so much for sitting at the table with me. Thank you for going to all the amazing queer events that we've got. And make sure that you follow social media and John Hayden for everything going on in our LGBTQ plus community, right?
Absolutely.
That's up.
And, of course, let's welcome tonight's lead anchor, my friend, my muse, the legendary, the only Faye What? She is a legendary television events host and radio personality. She's also the host of Hotspots Happening Out's The Faye What Show. Faye, our friend, our mutual little pocket gay, Davey Archuleta, will be at Hunter's this Friday on Halloween during Wicked Manors. Girl, can we wait? Can we wait? We still have to wait, but I can't wait.
Oh, my goodness. So, you know, it'll be here before you know it, right? I mean, literally, Halloween is Friday, right? So, I mean, that's it. So Hunter's Wilton Manors will come alive on October 31st from 5 to 11 p.m. when Harmony Waves and Hunter's Wilton Manors presents an unforgettable night featuring the one and only David Archuleta live on the Hunter's stage. The celebrated American Idol alum will perform in the venue's parking lot, delivering his powerful vocals and heartfelt music. The event will take place during Wicked Manors, Wilton Manors, and Wilton Drive's annual Halloween street party, creating the perfect blend of music, pride, and celebration. No ticket or cover will be required for entry into Hunter's, though Wicked Manors will require a ticket for street access, available online or at entry points. Known for his authenticity and advocacy for LGBTQ plus visibility, David Archuleta will inspire audiences with his story and songs of self-acceptance. Expect an evening of music, unity, and hauntingly fabulous energy. For tickets and more information, visit wickedmanors.org. I love that Harmony Waves is doing this. I love that, you know, I mean, Hunter's is going to be so packed with people, and it usually is for Wicked Manors. And then on top of it, you're adding, we're going to have the best bartenders, the best music, the best this, the best that. We're also going to add David Archuleta on top of it that's going to perform. It's going to be bananas.
Wicked Manors is one of my favorite nights of the year. And, you know, I'm not a huge fan of immersing myself into large crowds, but I love Wicked Manors, and I really love David Archuleta. I first interviewed him back in 2007 when he was an Idol contestant, and then I've interviewed him subsequently several times since then, and he has just retained just a level of genuineness and light that he doesn't even have to try to exude. He just does it naturally.
I love that. Yes, that's it. You know, he was our headliner at Rock the Block, the inaugural one, right? The one that I hosted. And he moved people, right? And like we said in the story, he's a storyteller. So he's telling you about his feelings of not enough, right? His coming out. I mean, he was crying on the stage when he was performing, and he had everybody in tears. It was just so heartfelt, you know? And then he sang a song from One Direction that totally threw me off guard. And I was like, let's do this, David. I mean, like, you know, he brings it. He's got fantastic hot dancers also. And I mean, like, we love him in Wilton Manors. He can come by anytime,
and,
you know?
I think he does. I mean, you know, I'm not sure, but I think he might have a condo here. And you know what? He's also got a book coming out in February that's, you think you were crying at his concert. Bring Out the Puffs. It's going to look back at his journey growing up Mormon, the struggles he had internally, and then also coming out with his family. I mean, it's going to be a good read. So I'm looking forward to that. But first, let's have fun, David. Let's have fun, Archie.
Let's have fun, David.
This Friday at Halloween.
And he's been working out. Listen, David Archuleta has some thirst traps for your behind, all right? You have to follow him on social media. Me and John do. And you've got to see, he's working out, and then he's just like, let me just wipe the sweat with my shirt. So let me just take off the shirt. Let me pick up this dumbbell. Oh, wow, there's my muscle. Like, it's like that. And, like, this is not little Archie from American Idol anymore.
It is not.
It's not. lot, and he is here to bring it, and we are here to receive it, right? In Wilton Manors. So you got to go on over to Wicked Manors this Friday, and he's going to be at Hunter's Nightclub, and we will see you there. I'm Faye Watt, and let's queer up South Florida and Florida. This is us. Wilton Manors Art Week celebrates queer creativity November 6th through 9th. The Wilton Manors Art District is turning up the color this fall with its first ever Wilton Manors Art Week, a 4-day celebration of art, culture, and community from November 6th through 9th. The theme, This Is Us, is both a declaration and an invitation. It is a reflection of the city's creative soul and LGBTQ pride. Spanning 16 galleries, 3 theaters, and countless creative spaces, the event promises gallery openings, performances, artist meet and greets, culinary pairings, and immersive art nights. Highlights include Ruthless the Musical at Island City Stage, the gay marriage plays at Plays of Wilton, and a grand opening party at Hunter's Nightclub. From paint splatter parties to queer film screenings, every event is designed to celebrate authenticity, artistry, and connection. The celebration wraps with a closing gala on Sunday, November 9th at the Gray Box Theater, a fitting finale to a week that's all about saying proudly, this is us. For more details, visit WiltonManorsArtDistrict.org. You know, Wilton Manors is about to get even gayer, if that's even possible, and more fabulous, if that's even possible, right? This Is Us Art Week lights up the drive November 6th through 9th, and it's 4 full days of color. Like these art galleries, we have a ton of art galleries, right? If you go up Wilton Drive by 5 points, right? By the hotspots happening at offices, by Union Kitchen, by a bunch of the places, that's where all the galleries and also the theaters are.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Hence the theater district and the art district. So these incredibly creative folks, led by Dennis Dean, Matteo Trisolini, and a bunch of other incredible minds, decided to put their whole thing together and become a unified front when it came to galleries, etc. Yep. So then they wanted to put together something even more fabulous that, you know, spanned 4 days, and they came up with this incredible idea.
Yeah, you know, I love it because Art Walk returned a couple weekends ago after a summer break because nobody wants to walk around art in sweating because you'll sweat all over the art. But it returned this last week, and you can see that the stage is set. Wilton Manors is ready for this. And I was talking with Dennis Dean at Arts United Gallery on Dixie Highway, and they've got like such amazing programming. They're going to do like a culinary night. They're going to do 3D art, like where you wear like the 3D glasses, kind of, immersive type stuff. They're going to, I believe they're going to have a reading by an author. So it's not just the art that you look at. It's art in all its forms and all its beauty. And you walk up and drive, and throughout Wilton Manors, they've got so many, there's like over 200 public pieces of art on display, and we're only a 2 square mile city, right? So it's not like, you know, so 200 is a lot. So I am so excited. I just wrote a preview story about this. It will be in Out South Florida and outsfl.com starting Thursday. So I'm excited.
Oh my God, me too. And then, you know, what a beautiful way to put a bow on this incredible week long of festivities by having their gala at the Gray Box Theater that just had their groundbreaking, their grand opening with Titus over the weekend. Congratulations to all the folks over there at Gray Box, because they are ready. The doors are open. They have programming ready. They're about to do the damn thing. They've already started this weekend, and it's going to be incredible. So I love that this art week finishes there at Gray Box for their gala.
It's so on point, and it's so important. And you know, have you been inside yet?
Yes. Before there were chairs, I went inside. Yeah.
I was in there. It opened Thursday. I was in there on Monday, and I was like, wait, you're opening on Thursday? Because there was still plaster dust, and I suppose there was a floor under there somewhere. But my gosh, they had it on Thursday. I was at the opening performance, and the crowd was there for it. The talent was there for it. Congratulations to Gary and Cal and Bud.
And the whole entire board of Harmony Waves and the board of Gray Box Theater. Because again, safe spaces. Right? You know, I mean, it's not just going to be a queer space, but I love that we have a space to go and say, we belong here. Yeah. We're safe here, right? Let's bring our shows here, all right? Let's help other organizations strive and thrive here. And that's what they're already doing, and it just opened the other day.
Yeah. I'm John Hayden. Let's queer up entertainment. remembering your first gay movie gathering at midnight Saturday with Rocky Horror Picture Show. For 50 years, Rocky Horror Picture Show has turned the ordinary movie-going experience into a glittering, defiant act of joy. It has been a beloved gay Christmas, aka Halloween, tradition. This Halloween, the fishnets, rice fights, and irreverence return for the 50th anniversary spectacular tour at the Orpheum Theater in Minneapolis. What started in 1973 as a scrappy London stage show became, in Barry Bostwick's words, a place to celebrate the traits that society tells people are not okay. Bostwick, who first played Brad Majors, a hero, now travels the country with co-stars Nell Columbia Campbell and Patricia Magenta Quinn, keeping the midnight magic alive. Bostwick says it's not just about the local queer community, it's about total orientation. We're on our third generation, grandmothers and grandfathers bringing their grandkids, end quote. Fans at the Orpheum can expect pre-show virgin ceremonies, costume contests, and a live shadow cast by Minneapolis performance troupe Transvestite Soup. Bostwick advises, quote, be the person you've been hesitating to be all your life. Don't dream it, be it. To a point, end quote. And if you can't get to the special screening in Minneapolis, you can watch Rocky Horror in hundreds of theaters across the country this week in theaters. And, you know, I'm so excited. I've loved Rocky Horror since I was a kid. And I went to college. So Richard O'Brien, who played Riff Raff and created the show, his son went to Ball State. We were in the same class together at Ball State. And he was a cool little kid back then. Don't know what happened to him. But Rocky Horror, that's my personal story. As a queer commentator, Rocky Horror is unparalleled in its importance. Yeah. And some of it is dated. We don't say transvestite anymore, but I think it's still okay to say it in this context because it's a snapshot of not even of where we were in a Transylvanian castle. It was a snapshot of where we aspired to be: open, proud, campy, irreverent, and in that respect, Rocky Horror Picture has held up for 50 years. 50 years. And it's going to go strong for another 50 more.
And, you know, and I love that all these different generations are being able to see that, right? You know, if there is a midnight showing of Rocky Horror, you know it's a queer safe space. Let's be real, right?
Yeah,
you know that you're going to walk in there and be like, you, right? And we're okay, you know? I have to remember, like, I didn't grow up watching this movie. I didn't, right? I saw it as an adult because it was a cult classic and I wanted to go to a fun event, right, about Rocky Horror. So I go to O Cinema, that's in Miami Beach, and they're doing a Rocky Horror. And I had no idea about, like, one, it's like a cult. Like, these people, they know their shit. They know their lines, right? All of a sudden, somebody threw rice at me and I almost punched somebody out, but then they told me that it was part of the event, right? Yeah. There's certain things that they scream up at the movie when certain things happen. Like, it's a thing and they're serious about it, John, you know? And all these years later, it's still serious business, and it's like, and it's an event that people go to with their families and everything, you know? Like, I dressed as Frankenfurter this year for one of my parties, and of course, so I dressed my wife as Rocky, as the creation, right? And all the gay boys were like dressed in just like cute little gold bottoms and that. I was like, no, baby, you need muscles, and so I put it on her.
I love Teresa. She is just a light in both of our lives.
Poor Teresa. She is a light, and yeah. Next year I'll dress her as Frankenfurter. Yeah, I'll put those fishnets on her. Yeah, but. Thank you again. 50 years, and that's amazing. As you said, the original cast, and you know, it's still they're still touring. Like, they still do dates in different places, like, which is crazy because, you know, they were super young during that time. Yeah. You know what I mean? But still around, still doing the damn thing. You know, as John said, this Orpheum Theater is doing it in Minneapolis, right? Yeah. Get your tickets if you're in Minneapolis. I know it's cold. I'm sorry. You know, and if you're in town, I know they're doing this somewhere. So do yourself a favor. Get yourself a fun wig. Have a great time. Get the corset. Get the fishnets. And have a phenomenal Halloween because you deserve it.
Absolutely. And drop video of you doing the time warp down in the comments.
Yes, please. I want to see it. All right. I'm Faye Watt, and let's queer up South Florida and Florida. Taste of the Island allows you to visit 50-plus restaurants on November 17th. Ticket prices rise soon, so get them fast. Bring your appetite to Taste of the Island on Monday, November 17th from 6 to 9 p.m. at Richardson Historical Park. This year's event invites guests to explore bites and sips from over 50 local restaurants, all in one delicious evening celebrating community and flavor. Pre-sale tickets are $65 through October, rising to $75 on November 1st and $85 at the door. VIP tickets priced at $125 include early entry at 5:30 p.m., air-conditioned seating, and 3 complimentary drinks from an exclusive VIP bar. Presented by Hotspots Happening Out, the 20th anniversary event continues to spotlight local talent and diversity, a true taste of what makes Wilton Manors fabulous. For details, visit tasteoftheisland.org. And I didn't mention it, but the Synergy twins are going to be there as well, and they've been there with me for the last 3 years. So I am blessed enough that Hotspots Happening Out trust me, around 50 eateries, because I don't drink, but I eat like a lot, right? And 5:30, get that VIP, because you get to walk in at 5:30 and like start your tasting and get your cup and do all that and have as many, go back as many times as you want. But so I've been hosting it for the last 3 years, John, and it's such a delight. It's so nice to have like a culinary experience on Wilton Drive, right? And to have some of your favorite restaurants be a part of it. Over 50 places. And I just want to tell you about a couple. I mean, Pub on the Drive, Bunt, all to do about Bunt. The Bunt cakes are delicious. Oh. Ethos is delicious. Batch is over there. Wolfgang, they bring stuff for doggies, all right? So you'll love that. Bagels and Co. is there. Polar is there. Crumble is there. Rick 16s is there. I mean, there are so many. Zona Fresca. Oh, they have such delicious food. Bole Kitchen. Oh, so good. Todd's Catering. He always comes up with an incredible dish, all in one little tasted cup that's just delicious. I grab 6 of those at least, right? Mamma Mia. They have Italian food that's delicious as well. And so many more incredible restaurants. 50 plus restaurants, plus eateries, plus drink places, plus bars. Last time there was people that were giving smoothies out. I mean, there's just so many things to try and pick from. And then most of these restaurants all have like here, use this card and come by and visit us in the future and get 20% off or something, Most of them will offer that as well. Cake Daddies is there. So there's desserts, there's cookies. I mean, there's just everything. Go there on an empty stomach. No Manjaro this week, okay? No Manjaro for anybody that week in November. You don't want to have it. You want to enjoy these delicacies and these I don't want to call myself the 7 deadly sins.
A glutton?
But I am, right? And for just $65, okay? And that air-conditioned seating also gets you air-conditioned bathrooms. Okay, VIP sells fast, so get your tickets.
It does. And I live a mile from this event, and I will be Ubering there, and not because I'm going to get drunk. I probably won't even have any alcoholic beverages, but I will go into a food coma. In the 5,080 feet from Richardson Park to my house, I will fall into a food coma because everything there is so good. Seriously, it's a party in your mouth and everybody's coming.
Everybody's coming. So we've decided to help out John Hayden, right? Because he fills up with everything, right? So he's taking an Uber there and I'm making him walk home.
Good call.
I'm just saying that'll help. You see, that's how much I love you, John. I'm always thinking about your A1C, always thinking about your heart. I'm always thinking about your cholesterol.
Oh yeah, and she and Teresa I'll be walking home and don't drive past me like, bye!
Bye, bye! Bye! Love you, John Hayden. See you.
I'm John Hayden. Let's queer up the USA view. The Supreme Court ruled parents can opt out of LGBTQ plus topics at school. But it's not going how you might have thought. In Montgomery County, Maryland, the numbers are in and they tell a striking story. Now, Montgomery County was the lawsuit complainant that got all the way to the nation's highest court. The Supreme Court ruled that families can opt out of lessons conflicting with their religious beliefs, including instruction about LGBTQ plus people. So far, only 43 families have said bye-bye. That's less than 0.03% of the district's 160,000 students. Far-right activists hailed the decision in June as a win for parental rights. But the response in Maryland's largest district shows how little appetite parents may actually have to exclude their children from LGBTQ plus education. Now, in addition to lessons, some of the books and curriculum that were objected to include Uncle Bobby's Wedding, Intersectional Allies, We Make Room for All, and Planting the Rainbow, Places of LGBTQ plus history in Maryland. Those opting out have their children moved or assigned alternate work, a burden the district says wastes resources to accommodate the religious beliefs of a tiny minority. Local residents saw the numbers as validation and say they underscore a broader truth. And that truth is that when families are free to choose, most are going to choose acceptance. National LGBTQ plus activists say results from Maryland will dramatically guide how other communities make their decisions. And you know, the results might not be the same in all the counties in Maryland, and certainly not across America. But my gosh, this story gives me hope. This is a light in the darkness that we know is not the train coming at us. It's a little heartwarming, and it says maybe we're not as hateful as all the Republicans would have us think that they
would have us think so. 40 families out of 160,000, right? That probably were like, hey, maybe I don't understand it, but you know what? I'm okay with it, right? Like, you know, you know, these teaching curriculums teach kids about compassion, teaches them about things that they're not usually, you know, that they don't usually see, right, in their bubble, right? You know, so they're constantly telling us, the right is constantly telling us that we're all going to hell, and that, you know, we're trying to indoctrinate children, and that we're grooming children, and all this horrible stuff that is just absolutely not true, you know? So it does give me a glimmer of hope, you know, but the reality is that the right wants stupid kids, okay? Like, you know what I mean? Like, they want your kids to be dumb. They don't want your kids to be well-rounded. They want your kids to just know 1 + 1 = 2, and that's it. And you know, that's not a great upbringing for a child. I mean, like, you know, you want your kid to know about everything and then decide on their own where they mix in better, where they fit in better, who they really are.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like, what a shock to someone that is kept at home, not allowed to meet new people, has never seen a black or brown person, and then they go somewhere and they're just like, wait a minute, what? All this really does exist? My parents have been holding me hostage, basically, you know, my whole life, and that's basically what they're allowing parents to do.
Yeah, kids get out of high school, they go to college, for many of them, not necessarily in Montgomery County, which is Baltimore and a very diverse area, but a lot of kids are coming from rural Alabama, rural Florida, rural Indiana, and they're being exposed to people that they weren't exposed to in high school. And knowledge is power. And the right knows that.
Yeah.
And if they can take away knowledge, then they can take away power. And we won't see the results of that now. It'll be 20 years from now, 15, 20, 25 years from now, when people don't have critical thinking skills, when they don't know the questions to ask. That's when we'll see the real repercussions of this denial of truth.
100%. And it's beginning now. We can see it.
Yeah.
You know, I have a millennial stepdaughter that if she doesn't use an app to let her know where she parked the car, it's the end of the world. You know what I mean? Like, she will not know or be able to find this per se car. Okay? And that's critical thinking. This is just because we really do.
That kind of resembles me, Faye.
Are you now using your phone app to fucking see where you park your car?
Like, I won't be able to find it in the parking lot outside after the show.
There's 4 cars outside, and he's the only one that has a yellow one. And yet there'll still be an issue for him to find his car. But we will make sure that he does, all right? And that was no tea or no shade to my millennials out there. I love you, and I think it's great that you use your phone for everything. Right? I'm Faye What, and let's queer up gay culture. What do you think about the straight culture invasion of queer spaces? In his latest straight nonsense column for Out.com, Moises Mendez II questions the growing intrusion of straight culture into queer spaces. Mendez originally planned to write only about the insanity of straight culture, but a weekend experience at a Brooklyn party called Bear Milk, a space for mostly black and brown bears and their admirers, shifted his focus. He writes, quote, straight people need to learn to read social cues and understand when they are not welcome in queer spaces, end quote. He describes a group of seemingly straight young people who entered the event, gawking and standing awkwardly among patrons in their underwear as they made out and danced. Their presence, he says, quote, felt like a violation. While some attendees shrugged it off, Mendez argues that true allyship means respecting boundaries and quote, entitlement does not go far in the queer community. There is more than enough space for us to share with people who want to be in community, but don't pull a Trump and force your way in and refuse to leave, end quote. You know, there's something about reading a room that people need to learn, all right? Moises Mendez just said out loud what a lot of us whisper in the bar all the time. The invasion of straight culture into queer spaces is getting real, and it is true, right? I think that there's LGBTQ plus spaces, John, right? And in our LGBTQ plus community, we all more or less might fit into one of the acronyms, okay?
Sure.
In that, there are right? There are, you know, sub communities, right? And then, you know, there's bears, there's all kinds of other communities. And so I believe that at this point, you know, there's a lot of welcoming places, right? You can go to Hunters and you will see a mixed group of people. You will see LGBTQIA two-spirited all represented.
Absolutely.
Then there are some parties that are just for the bears, right? That are just for the clothing optional bears, okay? Mm-hmm. There are pool parties, there are events. Know where you're at. Read the room. I am a femme-presenting lesbian. I love my gay boys. I hang out at the Eagle all the time, right? But when the red lights go on at the Eagle, if you know, you know, that's when Faye leaves. That's when I leave. I do exit stage left because at that moment, that's what everybody's really feeling themselves and having a great time. And I don't think that they want to see a femme presenting girl in the middle of the dance floor. So, you know, I want them to have their time, enjoy their time behind the tire, and me not be there. You understand? I'm not a straight person. I am part of the LGBTQIA community, yet I still know my place sounds wrong to say. I want people to feel authentically and comfortably themselves. So I put myself in a bear kind of feeling. I'm like, grr, I'm a bear. Do I want to see this girl here? No, so I leave. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I think that there's just a matter of reading the room. I don't think that there's anything wrong with straight people coming into our spaces, but you shouldn't gawk. You shouldn't laugh. You shouldn't point. You shouldn't make a spectacle of yourself because it's not your safe space. Does that make any sense to you, John?
It does, and I want to split a little bit of a hair with you there.
Split it.
Is that, you know, you're talking about when you're saying don't gawk and things like that. Yes, absolutely. We're not here to be your zoo animals. At the same time, places like, only because you name check them, and we both know Chuck and Team Eagle, and they're fantastic, and they never make anybody feel uncomfortable, no matter what. That's Faye saying that she wants to give people the space to be who they are.
Exactly.
And I will agree with you that to a point. I don't want anybody with their rednecks and red hats coming in to the bars and making a scene. I mean, you know, go away, get COVID, get measles, and die. Seriously, you people are terrible. But to just blanketly cut off a space, that's almost like creating our closet. It's almost like when we go into the bar, like, and we shut the door to outsiders. Well, now we're in a closet, a fabulous closet with a great DJ, but a closet nonetheless.
Yes.
And so should people know if they're coming into a special night, like a fetish night or something like that? Yeah, absolutely. Have a marquee on the door. Make sure people know. At the same time, I'm not comfortable just saying, don't let straight people come. And I think there's an interesting thing in our community. Johnson's, which is now part of Aquaplex, and their growing...
Their conglomerate.
Their conglomerate. And when that happened, I asked the new owners, and Velvet Lenore, who's the entertainment director for all of them, including Johnson's.
She busy.
And she is, and she good.
And she good.
And they were like, yes, women are there won't be the stigma on letting women into Johnson's like there has been under the original owners.
Yeah, because Johnson's was predominantly male dancers for male patrons, okay? So they kind of didn't want to take that away from the gay male patrons by having women kind of take over. And they have. I mean, there were bachelorette parties in there that would be super disrespectful and just didn't know how to act,
So it's like, now they're like, we're going to market Aquaplex to the bachelorette parties, and women can come in, but they're not the lead star in the drama at Johnson's. So I think there's a mix to be had, and I think information goes a long way. But just to blanket say, don't come to our outdoor parties, don't come to Folsom Street Fair. Know what you're getting into, but you should still be allowed to go.
It's just life is. It's difficult right now, right? You don't, a day doesn't pass by that you don't turn on the TV and you see some kind of attack towards the LGBTQ plus community. And for that reason, part of me wants to keep our spaces gay. And I know that sounds awful, because again, I'm torn just like you. Because again, way back when, in the beginning of time, there has never been any more place for a straight woman to feel safe than a gay boy bar. You know what I mean? That's where you go. So the boys don't hit on me and I don't have to worry about that. I can take off my shirt and dance in my bra and it's not a big deal. Since the beginning of time, that has been the case, right? Yeah. So now, now we have this story and it's like, I have to agree with John, right? We have been a welcoming, opening space forever. And now we're going to go, hey, know your place. Don't come in here. It's,
There's a lot.
There's a lot. Still want my queer spaces, but I'll let you in.
Thank you.
That's all. You're not on the list tonight. John's like, but I'm gay. You're still not on the list.
And I'm willing to prove it.
LGBTQ 1 Minute News.
LGBTQ 1 Minute News. Let's queer up business. Denied licenses. Alabama LGBTQ plus bar owner claims town targeted him. In Alabama, the former owner of Crossroads Bar and Grill is suing the town of Rockford, alleging anti-LGBTQ plus discrimination after officials denied his liquor and entertainment licenses. Thomas Fuller claims the town singled him out because of his sexual orientation and forced him to shut down his business. According to the federal lawsuit, Rockford's council questioned his character and morals and blocked drag shows while granting other heterosexual-owned venues similar approvals. Fuller says the denials made it fatal to his business. The town was served a court summons on October 15th and has 21 days to respond. We need our queer spaces now more than ever. This makes me sad that one, Crossroads is closed, so that's one less gay bar for us. And two, if you feel like you're being singled out, then yes, you sue the city. Do what you have to do. Just make sure that you've got your things together and like it's not that they're coming after you for other reasons.
Right.
I mean, there could be legit reasons why they don't want to support you.
Yeah, but they're going to be like little nitpicky things like that. The fridge with the beer or the food was 43 degrees and it was supposed to be 42. That's
the wheelchair ramp. The wheelchair ramp.
Okay, ADA is very important though. ADA
that is very important. But it needs to be repainted or something. You know what
absolutely.
I mean?
But we have to be vigilant because there are so many people. And this isn't just an Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana thing. This is going on just a few minutes outside Wilton Manors. This is going on a few minutes outside Atlanta. We've got these little town boards that think they've got all the power in the world. And in their little world, they do.
They do. Those Karens be Karening.
Yeah. LGBTQ plus 1 minute news. Let's queer up drag culture. Drag king icon Murray Hill urges protect the Ken dolls too. Drag king trailblazer Murray Hill is calling for broader inclusion within the LGBTQ plus movement, Protect the Dolls. The movement is an embracement of support in the trans community. Between hosting Reverie Kings of Drag and starring in Somebody Somewhere and Elsbeth, Hill's momentum continues with his recognition in Out's annual Out 100 list of changemakers. In his profile, Hill says, quote, after decades in the game, I still see drag kings, butches, masked folks, lesbians, and trans men treated as an afterthought. I hope our language expands to include everyone. Protect the Ken dolls too, end quote. Well said. Hill says his mission is ensuring that everybody has a seat at the showbiz table. And, that is part of what we're talking about. Yeah. The language is important. Everybody's like, oh, LGBTQ plus 2 IAS. Yeah. And I'm like, and they say it derogatorily, but it's basically what you're saying when you say that is inclusion for me, but not for thee. And I don't like that at all.
Yeah, and I've said it from this chair. I've said I don't care if we add another letter to the acronym. I don't care if the acronym has 23 freaking letters back to back and, 3 R's and 5 Y's, okay? I will learn it just like I learned this acronym, right? I mean, we all learned about pronouns in high school, right? Some in elementary school if you went to a good school, right? And all of a sudden we had to explain what that was to people. You know what I mean? But it's just learning something. It's just inclusivity. If today I said we are no longer using the word John anymore, John cannot be used anymore. Oh, my name is John. Sorry, we can't. That is basically what you're telling somebody if you're saying that I will not learn the acronym or I won't be okay learning somebody's pronoun.
Yeah.
That's it. Plain and simple.
Yeah. Say the letters. Have a seat.
Use the letters.
And make the world a little more inclusive. Inclusivity for others doesn't take away from you.
At all. And Murray Hill, you are dope sauce. Just to let you know, okay? Because again, there are not too many drag kings making their marks. And Murray Hill has been around for decades. I remember when I was a little lesbian and he was doing shows here in Fort Lauderdale. So that's just a beautiful thing, Yeah. Let's protect the Ken dolls. Protect the Ken dolls. LGBTQ 1 Minute News. Let's queer up lesbians and queer women. Lesbians share the sweet, serendipitous ways they met their partners. I love this. The gay community with over men's spaces to meet other men often express lack of understanding how women meet prospective partners. That largely changed this week in social media. We learned love often shows up when we least expect it, and queer women everywhere are sharing proof. On subreddit, actual lesbians users have opened up about the adorable, unexpected moments that spark lasting relationships. One Redditor shared, quote, "She worked as a bartender at my favorite sushi restaurant. She said I could have my order in exchange for my number," end quote. That's swag. They engaged 4 years later. From defending trans rights online to bonding over video games, culinary school swords, and even a TikTok comment. These meet cute stories remind us that love, queer love, truly finds a way. Where do you meet other queer women and lesbians? Mine is a mail order bride from Cuba.
I just meet my lesbians at your house.
At my house. And I tried to send her back and they wouldn't take her. Damn it. I mean, listen, lesbian love stories are just like anybody's love stories in the LGBTQIA two-spirited community. They are heartfelt. They come at the perfect time when you need them, and it's like, we've had this conversation about when you stop looking is when that person appears, right? Or when you really want to meet somebody and you're like, why am I still single? Why haven't I met that perfect person? And I will tell my single friends, your perfect person is right now taking care of some stuff. Yep. Okay? You don't want them right now. They are making sure that they are 100% ready and willing to give you everything that you deserve in a relationship. Just hold on a little while longer. You know? And it happens. I mean, it just happens. You never know when love can find you at the sushi place, protesting for No King's Day. You just never know.
Yeah. I mean, if you and Teresa had met 10 years before you met, no.
No, because I was still drinking, so it would have not happened. I mean, again, it happened where it happened. I remember, newly sober, I met my wife when I was 7 months sober, and I just remember saying, I want somebody that has their shit together. I want somebody who helps others. I want somebody who's really smart. I want somebody who's smarter than me. Yeah, even if they're Cuban, it's okay. All of a sudden, Teresa showed up. You know what I mean? Like, it happens. That's how it happens. Lesbian love is beautiful. Find your own.
LGBTQ plus 1 minute news. Let's queer up gay culture. Tilda Swinton went to 43 AIDS funerals in 1 year. Actor Tilda Swinton is opening up about the profound losses she faced at the height of the AIDS crisis, recalling that she attended 43 funerals in a single year. Speaking on BBC's Women's Hour, she said, quote, "That was what our life was like then." Referencing a new HIV prevention injection that aims to eliminate new HIV cases in the UK by 2030, she said, quote, "It's poignant for us who lived through that to know that it isn't necessarily a death sentence like it was at a certain point." Swinton, long a queer ally, credited her creative roots and her collaboration with gay filmmaker Derek Jarman, who died of AIDS-related illness in 1984. You know, I lost an uncle to AIDS in 1992. And that was sort of the time when the tide was starting to turn, even though it was still so dark. You know, like we lost Freddie in one year, but then Magic Johnson came along as HIV positive, and he's lived and he's thrived.
Like 30 years plus later, still.
And there, it's so easy to think that we've got HIV beaten. We don't.
We don't.
South Florida is still a hot spot for new cases, but it's treatable. But there's so much of the world where they don't have access to the drugs. Is it getting better? Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
But we have to remember, the first world has essentially beaten HIV, but the third world countries still have a long way to go, and we need to have compassion for them, and we need to have money for them, because a little bit of money from us here in the U.S. goes a long way for people to live thousands of miles away who you'll never meet, but you'll be a better person because of it.
Well, and a lot of that funding has been cut recently, and it continues to be cut to help, globally, like we have been doing in the past, right? John brings up a lot of topics when we talk about HIV/AIDS. We have friends, we have co-anchors who live and thrive with HIV and who are incredible humans. Like John, in the 90s, I had a favorite uncle that disappeared. Right. And my parents are super religious. So unfortunately, the conversation was never had. Right. I later found out what he died of. And, and that's not an original story. Right. I can't imagine all my best friends are gay boys. Right. I can't imagine having lunch with John one day and him disappearing the next day. Right. Or just going to 43 funerals like this woman had to. Right. We will never understand what that's like. I hope that you don't ever in your lifetime understand what that's like, and this happened, right? We can't forget about it. While they're trying to erase LGBTQ plus history, this is part of our history, so to speak. Again, HIV/AIDS doesn't only affect LGBTQIA people. Understand that we are in South Florida, and Black women are the number one most, what's the word I'm looking for?
Affected?
Contracted?
Yeah.
Okay. Right. In Miami-Dade County, it's scary, but this is something that we had to scream about because the president at the time wouldn't even say the word.
Yeah.
This is Reagan time.
Yeah.
And the fact that we were losing so many of our men and women during that time was just, it's something that we should never forget, and is a testament to how, people ask why LGBTQ is LGBTQ and not GLBT, how it used to be, right? Well, the story that I heard was that during the AIDS crisis, when men were forgotten from their families, lesbians stepped up to be at their bedside, to fill out their paperwork, to help them with their end wishes.
Yeah.
And that's when they ended up changing the acronym to the L first. We need to remember moments like that. They will continue to separate us or try to separate us, and we must never allow that to happen.
Yep.
LGBTQ 1 Minute News, let's queer up entertainment. Prince Henry and Alex say "I do" in Red, White, and Royal Blue sequel. Amazon MGM confirmed new details on the Red, White, and Royal Blue sequel, officially titled Red, White, and Royal Wedding. Both Nicholas Galtacine and Taylor Zakhar Perez return as Prince Harry and Alex Claremont Diaz for another royal romance. Jamie Babbitt, known for But I'm a Cheerleader, will direct, while Casey McQuiston and Matthew Lopez are co-writing the screenplay. Production details are still hush-hush, though IMDb's lists the film in development as of January 2025. Until it is ready to be viewed, fans can relive the first love story, streaming on Prime Video. So the next one is going to be Red, White, and Royal, baby. Will that be the next one? Okay, I have to admit, I didn't see Red, White, and Royal Blue. I didn't see the first one. I'm not planning on seeing the second one. And if they have a third one, probably not going to see it either.
Oh, you know what? The first one. I mean, it was
a hit. It was a huge hit.
It's well written. You connect to the characters.
They're pretty boys.
They're pretty boys. But I mean, get on with it. I mean, I've been seeing promotions about this. Like the writer takes a dump and it's a headline on
and his
a Reddit.
And his poop comes out red, white, and royal blue.
Yeah, and he's seeing a doctor about that. But I mean, come on. I mean, if you've been in production all year, it took less time to go from the beaches of Normandy to capturing Berlin. Okay, let's get this show on the road because they're not going to be pretty gay boys. It's going to be grandparents. Red, white, and royal grandparents by the time the third one comes along.
Royal grandparents. Hey.
But watch it. Invest an hour and a half. It's fun. It's light. Have a bag of like chocolate-covered popcorn. Just indulge it like a guilty pleasure, and you will absolutely enjoy it.
These are today's headlines from Queer News Tonight, and our anchors represent the best of our LGBTQ family. If our community is important to you, share this news with your friends and family. Don't forget to join the conversation on your favorite streaming platform. Queer News Tonight is the only live LGBTQ plus digital television show in the world that is out of the closet and into the headlines.
We need your support. If our community is to grow and thrive, we must tell our stories and bring them to the attention of the broader world. This is the only place in the world telling these types of LGBTQ plus stories. That is the passion of Hotspots Magazine and Happening Out Television Network and Queer News Tonight.
I'm your anchor, Faye Wood, and I thank you for joining us on behalf of my fellow LGBTQ anchor at Queer News Tonight, John Hayden.
That's me.
We'll see you daily at 8 p.m. To our LGBTQ plus world, we wish you good night.